Welcome to Medtalks, your go-to source for health information and medical insights. I'm your host, Juvenava, and we are bringing you the latest in healthcare. Whether you're looking to understand the basics of wellness, gain practical tips for everyday health, or learn about community resources available to help you live a healthier and happier life, Medtalks has you covered. Join us on this journey to better health, and remember, a healthier you starts with a single conversation. Stay informed, stay healthy with Medtalks, where every talk is a step towards a better you.
Grace Med Health Clinic is your home for complete compassionate care. From medical visits to vision screenings, dental care, behavioral health support, and a fully equipped pharmacy, we're here to meet all your health needs. Our dedicated team of providers and staff work together to make every visit welcoming and stress-free. Because at Grace Med, you're not just a patient, you're part of our family. Call 316-866-2000 to schedule your appointment. Grace Med Health Clinic, compassionate care for all.
Welcome, guys, to another episode of Medtalks. I am Juvenava, Director of Community Outreach and Communications at Grace Med Health Clinic, and I am here with the wonderful Kathleen Webb of Children First. Hi, Kathleen.
Hello.
How are you?
Great.
Good. Talk to me about Children First. I don't know much about it, so I'm really intrigued on knowing more.
Yeah. So what we do is we help children be successful in school.
Okay.
And then when we started the mission, we began to understand poverty. We began to understand their home situation. And so we decided to help parents too become more stable.
Okay. What kind of services do you offer for children or even families in general?
Yeah, so we have two programs. One program is called Families Forward.
Okay.
And what it does is it's a continuum of care to help parents become more stable.
Gotcha.
And so we start out with parents who are experiencing homelessness.
Okay.
And we work with them, and including we have an arrangement with the hotel, and we can put families in a hotel room for 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
As they become stable.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I did see you do have a variety of programs that you offer. Can you talk to me about each one of them individually?
Yeah. So I mentioned Families Forward. We start with the families that are homeless. But then we have this whole continuum of care that we're providing people. Okay. And so we have an employment program. Okay. And people in the community who are unemployed can come and if they need help with coaching, you know, like resumes and that kind of thing. And then once we get families housed, we also have a stabilization program to help them, you know, because they're, you know, if your family was willing to let you sleep in a car, you have no more resources, right? And just because you get a place, you're in that process of building resources. And sometimes you stumble.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we try and help them, you know, when we can.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So if you see a family that is in need, or if a family that's in need, they are either listening to this podcast or we know a family that's in need, how do they start services or how do they get connected with you?
We have a beautiful arrangement with the Atwater Neighborhood Resource Center,
okay.
which is about 13th and Hillside. It's tucked in that neighborhood there. Yeah, it's owned by the city, and so they have open hours Monday through Friday.
Oh, nice.
And then people can certainly go there and ask for us.
Okay. So when they go in and they're saying that they need these services or they need any kind of assistance, what does that look like for them? Do they meet with a caseworker, or how does that happen?
Yes, they work with a case manager with that, and you know, we can give them a food box and some hygiene items, you know, and then just start to understand and really understand what is their situation, why are they there, you know, and then take it from there.
Yeah. What kind of supportive services do you offer once they say, I am in need of a home or a stable home, and also my kid needs, you know, these items just to be able to have just a healthy lifestyle, you know, including school and all that.
Yeah, so the case manager really works with them. You know, after we do that initial intake, we really spend time to get to know them.
Okay.
You know, we want to know what their situation is and what they need is. And, you know, if we refer them to other people that can help, sometimes we can help. You know, it's just, you know, trying to wrap around services to really get a family stable and so that their children will be successful in school.
I love that. I love the idea of the wraparound services. So they get support in all aspects of it. That's great.
Yeah.
Is there, once, let's just say they get housed, their lives become, you know, more stable. do you still provide services afterwards?
Yes, we have an amazing program called, it's a national curriculum through Bridges Out of Poverty.
Oh,
It's
yes.
called Getting Ahead in a Just by Getting World. That's the game changer there for people. They begin to understand the tyranny of the moment, like stop making decisions, like just because of this, and just think long term. It's a 16-week class. We have it in English and Spanish.
Oh, good. I can imagine that some of these families feel a little overwhelmed by what's going on with their lives, the struggles, the barriers that they might have to overcome. What are some barriers that you see that families are dealing with, especially here in Wichita, that make this very difficult?
Yeah, a lot of people come to us, job loss, is a big one, but some, a lot of people that work don't have health insurance, health care, right? And so they need to come to Grace Med, right, to get healthy, right?
Exactly.
But in the meantime, they might not be able to work. Right. Well, if your resources are thin anyway, you can go blow through your savings really quick, and we see a lot of homeless families that come to us because of a health issue. They may be healthy now, but they'd lost their job and then they lost their home.
Yeah, we do see that a lot, especially in Wichita. We do have a very large homeless population for a city of this size. It makes it a little bit challenging, and some of the services are so spread apart. Do you work with other community partners to help them overcome some of these challenges? And if so, who?
Yes. Family Promise is a good partner for us because they have shelter. And they have funds to get people housed. And so we really enjoy working with them. And then, just some churches help us when families, need financial help to become more stable. Yeah. And so it's a variety. I mean, it takes a village. Right? It takes a village to help people.
Right. It does. It truly does. If there is a family that is interested in receiving these services, you mentioned Atwater. Is there any kind of referral process that maybe an agency needs to do to connect with them for these services with your organization?
No. They can just send families to Atwater. And the phone number there is 316-633-1530.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so they could call. Some people prefer to call.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
What other programs do you have going on, especially during this time? I know the summer can be very difficult for families, especially when they're trying to work or they're working multiple jobs and they have kids who are out of school. Are there any programs or any kind of services that provide them that support during that time?
We have a summer camp that we piloted last year, and we're going to do again this year.
Oh, nice.
And it's for children in foster care.
Okay.
Yeah, because what we learned is there's maybe not a lot of resources for those kiddos in the summer. And so we piloted this program, and it's been amazing. And the camp this year is going to be on June 22nd through the 26th.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome, right? And so kiddos who are in foster care can come and, be with other kids. Last year we had an amazing success story. A girl towards the end of the camp, she called her mom, and she said, her mom said, "I never seen her smile so much." Aww. And she said, I made a friend. Yeah. I have her phone number now. I have never had a friend.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that. Powerful,
that
right?
That is amazing, yeah.
Yeah. We had another really touching story is on Friday we are at the Kiwanis camp in Andover, and the whole family comes, right? And it's a family thing. And a little boy came up to us and said, "You know what? My dad died a month ago, and I live in a household full of women, and I got to come out here and I got to do some fishing.
Yeah,
I got to do a manly thing. I was so excited."
I think sometimes we forget that the ones who are also dealing with this are not just the parents but the children and how it affects their childhood. And so I'm really glad that you have programs like this that exist to help kids during these times. That's incredible. If there are people who are listening who want to support your organization, what can they do to support?
Yeah, so first of all, our website is a good place to start, and it shows where we collect donations, and we collect household items for families, like kitchen items, because if you were living in your car, chances are you don't have anything when you get rehoused again. And so we have a little store and parents can come shop, and so we accept donations, kitchen items and new bedding, that kind of thing, to help families, get that boost again.
The future, what does the future of Children First look like?
The future. Yeah. Oh, wow. I am committed to making an impact. I got about 10 more working years, and I got to get out there. I got to get stuff done, right?
I get it, yes.
And we move very quickly, and my team says, it's Kathleen, you move quickly. I was like, wow, I got 10 years.
You got to get it done.
I got to get it done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, we continue to look for programs to help families become more stable, and look for more resources to help more families.
Yeah. One of the questions I always like to ask our people we're interviewing is, where did this passion come from?
Yeah. So I'm a person of faith, and God just keeps waking me up. Kathleen, get busy. There's things to do.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. When I met my husband, Michael, and he said, will you marry me? I'll do all the cooking. I said, yes. And he said, would you move in the house I grew up in? And so I never envisioned I'm in North Riverside neighborhood. And so I started going to church there, and at church, the pastor said that the police had come to him, and there was a family across the street who was in crisis, and she didn't speak English, and would somebody help her? And I didn't do anything for a couple of weeks, but I kept waking up thinking about her, and eventually I did jump in there. The family was in complete crisis, no food in the house, the cupboards were falling apart, the transmission was out. I mean, they were really in crisis.
Yeah.
And I'm not a social worker. I mean, I didn't know what to do, but God provided, and I learned a lot from this family. And that's what got me started to thinking about poverty and starting to understand that.
I'm really glad that you were able to find that passion and to ignite this incredible organization that's doing such great work. Is there anything that perhaps I didn't touch on that you would like to discuss?
I just want to reiterate again about the summer camp for kids in the foster care program. I mean, my team works hard all year to put together this amazing week-long experience, and we'd like to have more kids.
I love that. Well, I hope you do. I hope you get a bunch of kids. You're doing great work, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching another episode or listening to another episode, and we will see you next time.